Alright, let's go with this optional stuff. As I said, this here is supposed to be on the building pad. It's confused a few people. Now we've done all that, done all this, and yeah, just in case you did do this and you did the sub-region, just you're going to have to delete your surface and redo it for it to be able to achieve this pad. Hopefully it will work for you, but if it doesn't, just delete it and do it again. Alright, so let's go with this. This one here says to add this driveway. It doesn't actually, I don't think, tell you exactly what to do, but firstly you have to do the boundary lines and then you have to do this slope. Okay, so that's how it works. Let's go through and do that. These are the tail and all that, which is the information we've got to put in afterwards for it to work. So let's we're putting a pad basically, and it's going to have a boundary. I'm going to sketch it with lines this time because when I get down here, it's a bit. It's going to go straight. I might just actually see if I can go there. I might escape. I might just begin another line from over here. I'll make it about, I don't know, 7 meters or something. Whatever, it doesn't matter. 6, 9, 7. There you go. Then come down here, which hopefully that's the curb area. Just join it up to that. I'm just going to set it back a tad because when we drop this down, follow those two. Oops, control key. Just bring it up a bit. There, so it's sort of parallel with that. You can just draw a line along it and make it parallel. It doesn't really matter however you want to do it. That's close enough for this. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is draw a slope arrow in here to show the direction of the fall. So I'm going to start from the midpoint of that to the midpoint of that. And I'm going to change the defaults on that to be 0 at the tail end. And it's going to be minus 900 at the other end. Okay, so if I apply that, and I go tick, hopefully we've got something. If we've got a 3D view, we've got something to drive our car up here, and it works out okay. Your numbers might be different if you put your house somewhere else. It might be you have to adjust those numbers a little bit, like the 900 end might be a bit different to you, but that's basically how you play with it, and that's all I did. I just played with it initially. You can actually play with it here too. If I highlight it here, I can edit the boundary. And if those numbers are not right, I highlight this arrow and I can play with it. For example, I can make it minus 700 and you see what the result will be, say. So it's just a matter of playing with it really. And I go apply and I go tick, and now I've got a little step to go over with my car, which is not very good unless you've got a four-wheel drive. So I won't do that. And that's where we want to. Where was it? Yeah, there. That's where it should be down there. All right. So that's been done. Now the next bit. Now let's add some RLs to work out the coordinates where we need to peg and set out this cut and fill. Now the pad is set to RL 9150. So any points we insert will have to be set on that level. Okay, you can use the following tool, it says, to check the coordinates of a specific location. Now, yeah, it says here on page 19, if I just flick over that, page 19. All right, so the corner of the pad, if we use this information here, this tool here, it will give us the coordinates, all right? But you can also go to massing topo, place a point. So place a point at 9150, all right? All it would do is put 4 points, but really what it does, it just draws a surface of it, and you can't really export the points afterwards. So it's really a bit of a waste of time putting points in this instance. there is this little video here which we'll have a look at, and what this does is called Field Layout Workflow with Autodesk Point Layout. So basically it's an add-on to this Revit software which does just what we wanted to do, to export the points out in some sort of XYZ format. And eventually I'm thinking this will end up in here in the next couple of years, will end up as part of it. But at this point, unless we've got this, we can't really do it apart from just the other thing we can write, we can use that tool to work out what the coordinates are, write them down in the text pad and manually. Really, you only need 4 of them anyway. The Z level will always be 9150. Or the other thing is to export it out actually to say that here, export it out to a drawing file, and I think you've done this before, where the drawing file, if you export it out using a drawing file, you have to go to say level pad and export it out using this system here. Don't go to 3D, go to this, because this will give you a 2D, which is what you want. All right, so we export, export CAD format drawing. All right, make sure it's on the pad. It will come out as basically a 2D, and you can just drop some points there at the right level. Or what you have done in the past, I think you created a little block, which is you can drop at the right RL, you don't even have to put in the right RL. You can just input, I think it's got some attributes in it, and you can input the RL in the attributes of the block and export those out using the attribute export command in CAD, which I believe you have done some of this already, according to Ross. So that's the other way of doing it. I'll just flick over here. I think I've got that here somewhere. Maybe this one. I'm not sure. I don't think this is the one. Sorry. I'll find it in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean. I already exported it out, so we'll just get it out in a minute. All right. Let me just continue with this and show you that initial tool. So looking at here, you can get it from 3D or 2D. It doesn't matter. You can go to manage. Manage there. Go to here. Get this one here. It says 1, 2 on it, and you can go. If you go there, it will sort of give you the end point of that. Here it has it. All right. So that's that easting and northing. It's interesting. It puts the easting and northings this way now, but before when we inputting them in the survey point, you wanted northings first, I think, didn't it? And then the eastings. So it's, I don't know. But anyhow, the elevation level is correct. That's always going to be 9150. All right. So you can get this and copy it and paste it into just a text document at this point in time. There's no other way of getting it out, really, out of here. And you can do that with all 4 points, like that. That's a different coordinate, right? And you can peg it out that way. It's, obviously 4 points is not a problem, but if you had a lot, it'll be an issue, okay? So it's not the best at getting this thing out, but I think the workaround with the AutoCAD drawing could be the way to go. I found that drawing, which I exported out earlier of the pad, and it looks like this in, it's in 3D, but it's actually, it's flat. It's not 3D as such. I'm looking at it in 3D in this isometric view. What I did, I added some points that are directly above where the pad is. So if I go from top view, those points are at those corners, but they're actually sitting at the Z value of 9150. But what you do, and I haven't got the block, but you have created a block, I believe, in the past, which you just put there and you change the levels. And it will just find them. In AutoCAD, you can export this out as well, and it will give you the exact coordinate of that point. It's actually better. It has better export than BricsCAD has. So you don't have to actually put a block. I can export just these 4 points out, and they'll go out into a CSV file. if I get a minute, I'll show you how to do that. All right. Let me just go back to this for a minute. All right, so basically we're finishing off at this point. But look at it. Let's just have a bit of a look. Yeah, so it's on page 20. What I just talked about yeah, you know, resorting to putting points manually. All right. I didn't actually do the bit where I actually inputted the points. I'll show you that anyway. If I go to massing, if I go to topo, it's not going to achieve anything, but I'll show you, we've done this before. It's the first exercise anyway, as part of the other exercises we did last week. I'm placing a point. It's just a matter of going, yes, I want to put it at 9150 elevation. And it's just a matter of putting it here, putting them all along here. They're at the same level. All it does really just constructs a surface around it. It doesn't really do anything. So those points have now disappeared. I can't get to them. I can only get to them by clicking on it and editing it, hopefully. But I can't even edit it. So if I go to 3D now, all I've got really is just put another layer or surface on top of that surface, which is not really, you know, we don't do anything with it. There's nothing much to do with that. So if I go like this, in here, we got in filter, we got pads and topography. That's that. Oh, that's 3 of them. Yeah, I picked up 3. But yeah, that's all that is. That's 4 points. Just put another surface there. All right. Okay, I'm going to continue now and show you how to export these points out into an Excel or CSV file. Okay, I'll just do that in the next recording.